Hey, look, it's a keyboard. Does it make sound? Oh, yeah, it does, although I don't know how to play keyboard at all. I used to, but I don't anymore. Anyway, this is a MIDI keyboard. It's an old M-Audio Keystation 61ES that we bought to run on the Macs, but the problem is it's so freaking huge that, you know, it takes up a lot of room by your computer. So what I did was I bought some stuff from Adafruit, which is what I tend to do in these situations, and a few things off Amazon. So what we have here is a Metro, which is just an Arduino clone. Up over here, we have a MIDI synth. This is a FeatherWing Music Maker from Adafruit. Plays MP3s, but you can also put it in a MIDI mode, and it'll just play MIDI that you ship to it. Here in the middle is a 7-segment display, also from Adafruit. Then over here is an opto isolator that's a whole $5 on Amazon, and a few buttons. And what happens is when I play here, that comes out this MIDI cable that I built. Ha ha ha! Hey, there's Snowball! And Jujuju goes into here, into the opto isolator, which basically spits the signals up through a LED inside that chip. Then there's a light detector next to the LED, and it reads the signals and converts it back into electricity. And all it does is isolates the MIDI keyboard from the rest of the electronics. Apparently you're supposed to do that with MIDI stuff. So I did. And what happens then is that the signal then comes from here and goes over into the Metro, into its hardware serial, because the software serial just doesn't seem to be fast enough to handle MIDI's weird-ass baud rate both in and out at the same time. The only way I could get this to work reliably was to hijack the hardware RX and TX pins. And so it comes in here. All the Metro does is look for things on that pin, spits them back out on this yellow guy, which goes all the way over here to the synth, and then the synth plays the sound through these crappy little speakers right here, right now. So that's what happens. The only other role that the Metro plays, and actually if you want to, you can just hook this blue and yellow wire together, leave the Metro out entirely, and the whole thing will work. But there's no way to change the instruments, and it's got 128 instruments. This is not the only instrument, so the Metro sits there in the middle to wait for button presses, and so that's why we have this display in these 3 buttons here. So the red button is very simple. It just picks a random instrument, and it gets displayed over here in hexadecimal. Why it's in hex, I'll tell you in just a sec, but so there's a new sound. Do it again. Oops. Oh, come on. And then the green and the blue, they actually go rotate through the digits. So I can do the bottom digit. It goes 3, 4, 5, 6, all the way up to F, because this is hexadecimal. And then the front digit goes from 0 to 7. And if you know your hexadecimal, then you get all the way up to 7F. And that's the highest. That's 127. Which is not a particularly interesting one. And either one will roll around. This one gets a dull sound. And minor key version of that. And this one will loop around as well. So now we're down to sound 0. And again, if you want to randomize, just pick one. We can just randomize, just like that. And then so you might be asking, what's the point of having the hex? Well, that's because I got this list here, and this list shows all the different things that are in that this particular MIDI synth can spit out, and the first column there is a hexadecimal for them, so that you can find whatever one you want. You know, if I want trumpet, that's 3/8, so I can go over here and roll that around to 3, roll that around to 8, and now I should get a trumpet sound. Not a very good trumpet sound, but a trumpet sound nonetheless. And so this whole shebang is all set up, all this rat's nest of wires and everything, just so we can play this stinking keyboard without having to actually plug it into a computer. Ha!